everyone, welcome to my channel, HFY Beyond Terra. This channel is all about HFY and sci-fi stories. Now, let's start the story.
The arena reeked of scorched circuitry and humiliation. Not the normal kind of humiliation either. This one was thick, lingering, and unmistakably official, like it had been stamped and filed into a permanent record. Mara Keen stood alone in the center of the training floor, shoulders rising and falling with controlled breaths. Sweat slid down her temple and fell in little beads onto the dark alloy beneath her boots. The metal was designed to repel impact, absorb energy, and resist heat. It was also currently painted with 12 streaks of alien blood substitute, and the dented pride of an entire instructor course. Around her lay the results: 12 armored instructors members of the Vela Defense Academy were scattered like toy soldiers tossed aside by an angry child. Most were face down. A few were on their backs, limbs splayed at angles that suggested their joints were having serious doubts about their career choices. One of them twitched occasionally, like he was trying to convince his nervous system to come back online. They were not dead, but they were certainly not fine, unless one considered breathing quietly and contemplating their life decisions to be a version of fine. The arena lights hummed overhead. The observation balcony above was silent except for the faint clicking of mandible plates. Commander Examiner Auric Thal, a senior official of the Vela fleet, leaned forward over the railing as if staring hard enough would cause reality to correct itself. His 3 pupils flickered out of sync. His translator collar pulsed softly, warning him his heart rate had reached a level medically classified as poorly disguised panic. He cleared his throat. Then his voice crackled through the arena speakers with the confidence of someone reading a report. They didn't believe. Candidate Mara Keen, he announced, has failed the Vela Combat Certification Trial. Mara blinked once, then looked up. Sorry, she said. Can you repeat that? I think the speakers glitched, or reality did. Auric did not laugh. His 2 upper arms clutched his tablet. His lower arms gestured weakly toward the battlefield below. You were instructed, he said, each word strained, to demonstrate defensive capability against 3 opponents for a duration of 5 minutes. You have exceeded parameters. This constitutes failure. Mara stared at him, lips parting slightly. Then she turned and gestured around the arena in a slow circle, as though presenting a museum exhibit. 12, she said. There are 12 of them, she pointed. That one is drooling. She pointed again. That one is hugging his own leg like it's his emotional support limb. A beat. You're telling me I failed because I did too much defense? The commander's mandibles clicked rapidly. His translator hesitated for a fraction of a second, as if debating whether to translate the tone or simply give up. Instructor count correction. Auric announced stiffly, 11 instructors are incapacitated. Instructor Joran appears, partially conscious, at the north edge of the arena. One of the armored bodies let out a miserable groan. He raised his head approximately the height of a credit chip. Then it fell back to the floor with a sad, metallic thunk. Mara nodded thoughtfully. Give him a moment, she muttered. He'll get there. The trial as it was supposed to go up in the observation gallery. A junior analyst named Pax leaned toward Auric's aide. whispering with the reckless optimism of someone who had never been punched by anything with 4 elbows. "Sir," Pax said, "should we help them?" The aide's eyes didn't leave the scene below. "Help them do what?" The aide whispered back. "Be more unconscious." Auric ignored them. He had to maintain authority, even though authority, at this moment, was mostly a concept being dragged behind a shuttle like a loose chain. In fairness, the trial had started normally. Will Vela normal. Mara had entered the arena, bowed respectfully, and taken her place in the center ring. The 3 assigned instructors had circled her in regulated formation. The countdown timer had started. 5 minutes. Defensive maneuvers. Only. No lethal force. No permanent damage. Minimal retaliation. Just enough to prove she could survive. That was all. Then Instructor Kelvin, overconfident veteran with tusk ridges and a reputation for disciplining recruits, made the mistake of grabbing her shoulder. Not striking. Not attacking. Just grabbing. But he did it the way predators grab prey. Firm, confident, entitled. Mara's reflexes responded before her brain had time to write a polite letter. She moved, not fast by human standards, but by Vela standards. She simply vanished. One moment she was in the center of the ring. The next moment Instructor Kelv was airborne. He spun through the air like a malfunctioning drone, hit the arena padding, and sank into it with a perfect instructor-shaped imprint. The padding was rated to withstand plasma training rounds. Kelv had struck it hard enough to make the wall consider early retirement. Defensive. Auric had screeched from above. "He grabbed me." Mara had called back. Her tone had been almost cheerful, like she was explaining basic math. I defended. The second instructor approached next. More cautiously, she carried a sparring blade and kept her distance, stepping with practiced rhythm. She lasted 7 seconds. Mara closed the distance, dipped beneath the blade swing, and swept her legs out with what humans called a simple trip. What Vela later called in the official incident report, aggressive initiation into forced gravitational compliance. The second instructor landed on Kelv. Kelv made a sound that was part growl, part existential regret. The third instructor was larger, much larger. His body plating was thick, his arms like reinforced pistons. He'd survived 3 frontier skirmishes and once wrestled a cargo loader into a draw for entertainment. He stared at his fallen colleagues, then made a tactical decision. He charged. Full speed. For arms outstretched. Battle roar shaking the glass. Mara sighed, planted her feet, and clothes lined him. His body continued moving forward while his head did not. Physics attempted to object. Then, unwilling to take responsibility, it compromised by spinning him sideways through the air like a turbine blade. He hit the floor and bounced twice. That was when the other 9 instructors entered the arena. No one authorized it. No one called for backup. But when you watch a human dismantle 3 certified fighters in less than 90 seconds, certain instincts awaken. Namely, we need more people. We need many more people. We should have left earlier. 9 instructors, advanced division, tactical response. 2 from the special operations training program that officially did not exist. They surrounded Mara in a perfect formation, weapons ready, breathing controlled. Mara cracked her knuckles. "Okay," she said quietly. "So it's one of those days." The fight lasted for minutes and 31 seconds. Auric timed it himself. He'd been too horrified to look away. Failure by success now, in the aftermath. Mara folded her arms and looked up at the balcony. "So let me understand," she said. "I defended myself against 12 opponents, didn't injure anyone permanently, and I failed because you wanted me to fight only 3. Auric's mandibles slowed, then clicked again, faster. "You were supposed to demonstrate restraint," he said weakly. "I did." Mara protested. Everyone's still breathing. Pax checked his monitor. "She is technically correct. Commander," he whispered. "Vitals stable. Emotional trauma unclear." From somewhere near the east wall, an instructor whimpered, "Define stable." Auric rubbed his face ridge with one trembling hand. The thing about humans, he reflected bitterly, was that nobody ever warned him they were like this. The reports said humans were durable. Trade documents said humans were persistent. Cultural notes described them as enthusiastic. Nowhere did anyone include the critical detail that humans were compact bundles of barely contained violence wrapped in a fragile layer of social etiquette. Auric pulled up Mara's file, species. Human age, 27 experience. No prior combat experience background. Mixed martial arts, that phrase, he now understood, was a lie crafted by language itself. "Mara Keen," he said slowly, voice rising toward distress signal pitch. "Your file says no combat experience." Mara nodded. "Correct. This is my first real fight." The observation gallery went dead quiet. Pax stared at her like she'd just confessed to learning surgery from entertainment programs. "You've never fought before?" he repeated. "Nope. But the way you moved, YouTube," Mara said, shrugging. "And a few years of jiu-jitsu classes at the community gym. Also, my dad made me take a self-defense course in high school." Auric's brain made a sound internally like cracking ceramic. "You learned combat from recorded demonstrations and recreational practice." "Yeah," Mara said. Mostly, she looked down at the scattered instructors. "I mean, not perfectly. I messed up a lot." Auric's antenna twitched. "You messed up?" Mara nodded seriously. "My transition from the hip throw to the arm lock on number 6 was sloppy, and I definitely telegraphed that spin kick on number 9. One of the instructors groaned from the floor. "If we were faster," the instructor rasped, "it wouldn't have mattered." The new ruling a veteran instructor named Soren dragged herself upright, armor cracked, ribs clearly angry, but eyes sharp. She looked to Auric. "Commander, my recommendation is immediate certification. Maximum tier." She failed the trial. Auric protested. Soren pointed at Mara. "She defeated 12 trained Valor instructors without breaking bone or drawing blood. If that is failure, then I resign." Auric blinked. "You cannot resign." Soren smiled through pain. "Then promote her to instructor." Pax, desperate, scrolled through regulations. "There's actually no rule against exceeding trial parameters," he stammered. The regs specify minimum requirements only. Section 7. Sub 3. Candidates demonstrating capability beyond requirements may be evaluated for advanced placement. Oryx stared at the tablet as though it had personally betrayed him. All eyes turned to Soren. Advanced placement, she said. I like it. She looked at Mara. You pass. With honors and a note in your file. Banned from sparring with anyone below instructor rank without supervision and padding. Lots of padding. Mara raised her hand. Can I say something? Oryx sighed. You have already said too much. Mara's expression softened. I really didn't mean to hurt anyone. She said, you all seemed tough. I thought, you could take it. There was a pause. Then someone from the floor croaked. That makes it worse. Soren waved medical teams forward. Help us to medbay, she said. Carefully, very, very carefully. As Mara gently helped extract an instructor from wall padding, Oryx slumped into his chair above and opened his communication terminal. He needed to file a report. A very long one. One that included hazard pay, therapy coverage, and the sentence, we should not let humans train unsupervised ever again. He glanced at Pax. Make a note, Oryx said warily. All future human trials will be conducted remotely through simulation. He paused. For our safety, not theirs. 3 weeks later, 3 weeks after, what the Academy now referred to only as the floor incident. Mara stood outside Oryxthal's office with a tablet in hand, and a deep sense that she was being punished by paperwork. The door chimed once, twice, on. The third chime, Oryx's voice came through the intercom. Enter slowly, he said, hands visible. Mara pushed open the door, hands raised dramatically. You know, I'm not dangerous when I'm walking, right? Oryx looked up from behind his desk. All 3 eyes fixed on her like she was a meteor waiting to land. Instructor Joran is still in physical therapy, Oryx said. He described regaining consciousness after your trial as spiritually challenging. Mara winced. I sent him a gift basket. He is carnivorous. Oh, she grimaced harder. That explains. His expression. Oryx gestured to the chair across the desk. The chair was positioned noticeably farther back than last time. Sit. Mara sat. Oryx slid a tablet toward her like it might explode. The investigation concluded this morning, he said. You are cleared of all charges. Mara blinked. Charges 17, Oryx said flatly, including excessive force, destruction of military property, and making everyone feel bad about their training. Mara scrolled the report. Her eyebrows climbed. This says I showed tactical awareness and restraint. Oryx's mandibles clicked once. You are a menace, he said. But now you are a useful menace. He activated a holographic display of an Outer Rim station. A situation is developing on Station Avarice, he said. We are sending a diplomatic team to negotiate with the Corthan. Mara leaned forward. The Corthan, Oryx nodded. Aggressive, territorial. They respect only strength. They destroyed 3 diplomatic shuttles last year. Mara set the tablet down slowly. You want me to fight them? Absolutely not, Oryx snapped. Voice cracking. Then he inhaled. I want you to stand there, he said, comma, and look like you could. Mara's lips quirked. So I'm a very scary ornament. A deterrent, Auric corrected. Like a nuclear weapon. Mara tilted her head. A nuclear weapon that can also fill out mission forms. Auric rubbed his face ridge again. You will accompany Ambassador Selveron, he said. He's experienced, diplomatic, very good at not starting fights. Mara nodded. And my job is to make sure the Corthan think twice before testing us. Auric leaned forward. Eyes narrowed. Double quotes, yes. You have become famous. Footage of your trial has circulated beyond military channels. Now it's everywhere. Mara blinked. Everywhere. Civilian networks, trade stations, even Corthan territory. Auric hesitated, then said, They call you the Terran Stormblade. Mara stared. That's kind of cool. I do not find it cool. Auric said dryly. I find it deeply concerning. The assignment. Mara stood, adjusting her uniform. When do I leave? Tomorrow, Auric said. 0600, docking bay 7. He paused, then added quietly, Mara, the Corthan are not instructors in a training arena. They are warriors. Some have killed rivals with bear claws. Mara met his gaze steadily. And you think I can handle them? Auric leaned forward. I think you are the only being in this fleet capable of making them hesitate. Mara saluted. I won't let you down. Auric sighed. Just don't let me down violently.